Oh, hello there. Welcome back to the Agostinho Zinga show with me, your host, Agostinho Zinga. This is episode number 233. That's dos, tres, tres. With me, your host, Agostinho Zinga. How's it going? How are you feeling? People, how you doing? Good? Great. Good to know. So, it's early in the morning once again. I'm doing this podcast before I head off to work, so please excuse the rapid nature that I'm going to be running through the topics. Just give you a quick update. It's somewhere where the end of the week now is Friday for some of you people who love to, frolic on the weekends, get rowdy with your friends and get up to all sorts of nonsense and throw your hands up in the air like you don't care, shuffle from side to side, right? Fall over a curb, pick up some dodgy cat, drink loads and an inconspicuous amount of alcohol, and then wonder the next morning why you do it every single weekend. But for me, it's just another day of the week. It's just another day of the week, another step towards me achieving my goals and getting to where I need to get to. Because motivation, man. No, it's just a Friday for me. I'm on Sober October. I'm on my Sober October stretch, so there's not really that much enjoyment when it comes out of the end of the week. If of course it's nice because it's the end of the working week, so you can kind of put your feet up and you can kind of take your time. Have you ever kind of finished work on a Friday and you just purposely walk slow home? Usually from Monday to Thursday, you're like rushing to the station, right? So you can kind of get home as quickly as you can to kind of make sure, so you can kind of reset the fact that you've been stuck in this place that you don't want to be at for 8 hours. But then when it's Friday, you tend to just stroll around, drag your feet as you're walking toward the station, look up at the ceiling, look at some pigeons like they're fucking exotic animals. People watch, check out that woman there that's wearing that weird skirt, look at that guy that's got that weird walk, he walks on his toes. You just start glancing around, right? You don't care if you miss your train, you're just enjoying life on your phone, listening to a podcast, into music. But the contrast between that and on your way home on a Tuesday evening is just insane, right? You're rushing, you're powering through, you're getting your jacket off before you head to the station, you're getting your Oyster card, you're making sure everything's in, and you just want to get home and just relax. But for me, I don't know. I wish I had that kind of calculation, but I don't really have that kind of way of looking at the days of the week. I kind of view all days of the week as a blessing. I see them more as an opportunity to kind of do better, to kind of put your best foot forward, to start again, to start anew, to make sure you are a better person at the end of the day. That's how I view it. But, we're all different. We're all got ways to be. I'm looking forward to the end of the weekend because, again, I'm DJing tomorrow, as I mentioned previously in my other episodes, at Heathcote and Star. That's going to be nice. It's been a while since I've been DJing out in between holidays and moving jobs. Like so, Malarkey's been a bit topsy-turvy, but I'm back on the ones and twos in Leytonstone, so come and check me out if you're in the area. And in general, I'm just looking forward to see what the first weekend of Sober October is like without alcohol or any other kind of Class A substances and all that malarkey, whether it's the whole, marijuana or other stuffs. It's gonna be quite interesting to see, because usually when I'm at home on the weekend, I'm usually kind of, enjoying my weekend, relaxing, putting my feet up, cracking up on a whiskey. But now I'm gonna be completely sober, completely clean, and just carrying on and doing what I need to do. But I think it's like come at a good time, and anyway, I'm not complaining. Post Berlin, the last thing you want to do is start drinking again. Berlin's got the best gear, the best beer, best gear. It's got the best. Actually, it does have the best gear. Actually, does not have the best gear. As you probably wouldn't believe, but the beer there is pretty good, especially the stuff that you get at the Spatty. They call it Spatty or Spatkuf? I forgot how you can say off licenses, but the Berliner Kind, the Berliner Kind or Berliner Kind beer is really fucking nice, man. It's just like a standard beer. It's probably about €1.50 or something. You can grab them at most of the offies that they have over there. They're fucking cracking beers, and then not concluding everything you're gonna get in the fucking bar, innit? So yeah, I'm enjoying it, man. I'm enjoying this sobriety and this clean living. I just came back from a little 4.5 mile run. I did it in about 40 minutes, which was quite good. Happy with my times. I was running a bit slow because I was listening to this audio book at the moment called Stillness is the Key by Ryan Holiday. I'm sure you guys are familiar with him. He had written another book called Obstacles Away and Ego's the Enemy. And he's got the Stoic book as well. That's really cool that I highly recommend. But I'm reading this book now at the moment. And it's a flipping trip, man. It's really, 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 really good book. It tells you, stillness is the key. It's the whole idea behind, cultivating moments of stillness for your mind, body, and heart, or mind, body, and soul. It's a very therapeutic book. It's not self-helpy. If anything, he kind of grabs wisdom from people that have gone past, like legends or philosophers or generals or ex-presidents or inventors, whatever it may be, right? People from the past, and he kind of like gleans their wisdom and kind of, you know, puts them in a nice structure and presents them in a new way. So it's less of a self-help and more so of look what all these people that are successful or that you deem to be successful, or you deem to have come through tough times, look at what they did to kind of condition themselves so they are able to go through those tough times, or condition themselves to putting themselves in a kind of mental and physical frame of mind where they can have moments of stillness in this whole chaotic world that we live in. A really interesting one is him talking about Marcus Aurelius, right? One of the, you know, prominent Stoics that I kind of follow, a lot of people follow in the whole self-improvement movement, and he kind of, you know, detailed the story that actually the Greek philosophers, or back in those days, people think that they had, well, I used to have that kind of thinking where the reason why they wrote all these, you know, amazing fables or stories, or they were able to put together these amazing journals, or, you know, able to think or chew on these really interesting problems, was because they had nothing else to distract them, right? There was no smartphones in that era, no electricity, no, you know, whatever, it happens, right? You just think, you know, they have all the time in the world to just do what they want to do. It's that kind of type A fantasy you have in your head where you kind of hope that one day if you get arrested, it's going to turn into opportunity for you to kind of learn 7 languages, read a ton of books, and, you know, get incredibly fit. But the reality was actually in those days that they were dealing with as much destruction as we were nowadays, right? They were living in smaller kind of like scale towns and cities where the main market square was very close or nearby where you lived. It was very loud. You had, you know, market traders shouting and screaming their deals. You had the sound of kids playing. You had the sound of women in the area gossiping. People in the army barracks training. Just the hustle and bustle of a city was incredibly loud. Especially imagine those days, they had no windows, right? Just complete open holes in the side of their kind of like building. So there was no windows to kind of insulate that noise. Maybe you put a curtain there, but for the most part, they had to kind of, you know, live in and amongst all that hustle and bustle of a city. So they still had to cultivate moments of stillness where they were able to kind of concentrate and just focus on what they were doing. So this book really does go into depth of it, and really is an eye-opening book in terms of, you know, unplugging from this chaotic world that we're in today, and like I said, cultivating moments of stillness. So I recommend you check it out. It's called Stillness is the Key by Ryan Holiday. It's available now on Audible. I've got it here on the iPhone iBooks thing. Is it focus? Come on, get in focus for the old screen grab. Come on. No. Anything? No, it's not having it, man. It's not having it. But anyway, that's it there. Check it out if you need. It's really an incredible book. What else I've been doing? Oh, another update. Sorry, I ran for miles, and look what I've got. I've got some new shoes. So these are the boots that were meant to take me to Berlin, right? I told you I came back from Berlin. Went to Berghain. I went to Greece Müller. I went to all these amazing, crazy places in Berlin. Hang out with some cool people. Shout out to my friend Haley Oxlade. I hanged out with her and a few other people that I know from the East London scene. So she works at this amazing pub called The Dwarf. I recommend you check it out there. Really cool little place. So hanging out with them, everything was great. But I was meant to take my boots with me. I wanted to take these amazing boots. I wanted to go there and style on them. I wanted to go there and look like a fucking Vetements model, right? That's what I wanted to do. But unfortunately, the person who I bought this flipping stuff off of, right, didn't ship them in time, right? There's a picture here actually I want to show you that I wanted to kind of, this is the look I was going for, right? Let me see if I can find this picture. This is from the Vetements Instagram profile, right, that they have right here. So let me see if I can find it here somewhere. They took a picture of a guy standing outside the Berghain. Let me see if I can find it here. Oh, that jacket is incredible. What collection is that from? Oh, that puffer jacket is really nice. Not mad at that jacket at all. I like the fact they got a lot of plaid in their things, isn't it? Oh yeah, okay. So number one, these boots are basically what I kind of sort of bought the original of, right? These amazing bondage boots. They look fucking nuts. They look so bloody crazy. It's not even fair. But unfortunately, they don't come in men's size. I don't think these ones do. I think these are the women's, the ones with the 2 straps at the top and the ones at the front, and the ones here on the side here might come as in men. So they kind of remind me of the boots that I have, right? So if you're kind of thinking why, what I was talking about, here they are. Let me save that and put that in my thing. But let me scroll down and find the guy. There was a dude here that had a picture where there was several and was like, oh no, they can tap it. It's in front of the Berghain. Where? See if I can find it. Scroll. It's on their profile. Yeah, there we go. So this look I was going for, right? When I went to Berghain, I wanted to look like this. So this is a model. If you were listening to the podcast app, there's a picture here of a Vetements model, or one of the people that they kind of scout from their social feed. I think people just tag pictures of themselves wearing Vetements, and then I think for the most part, if they live in Europe or live in cool places, some of their photographers or stylists would go out to them and do a photo shoot. But they've got this kid standing in front of the Berghain wearing a massive oversized hoodie, big trousers, a kind of wallet chain, the Vetements spiked sunglasses. He's got this weird sort of keyboard thing hanging on the side of his waist, which will actually double up as quite a good pouch. If someone's able to do that, like a pouch that look like a keyboard, that would look quite cool. And he's got these big boots on, right? But you can't see what exactly they are. So that was my kind of look that I was trying to go for when I went to Berlin, but I didn't have my boots in time. If you're wondering what boots I'm talking about, it's these New Rock bad boys. So I've got these New Rock boots here. I'll show you. Ugh, so heavy. So these are the ones I bought, right? I bought it from eBay. Amazing New Rock boots. They've been used, of course, but they're still in great condition. I think they only came up to about £50, so great deal. They all kind of detached here on the side here of Velcro, and you can kind of tighten them up from there. And they're super heavy, as you can see from me lifting them up. They're massive, thick soles, and they just fit my style completely. So unfortunately, I won't be able to wear them for Berlin because I'm back home now. So you've got the whole New Rock stuff on there as well. You got the whole boots there. Like they just look nutty. I absolutely love these boots. I hope you can see them. Can you see those? They just look super, super nutty, man. Look how big they are. Look how big they are. Look at that. Look how big they are. They are massive. I can't even fit in a screen of the thing I'm using right now. They don't fit at all. But yeah, these are the boots I wanted to use, but unfortunately, I didn't get them in time. But yeah, amazing boots. Look at the back as well. Super, super cool. So now I'm gonna have to wear them for Fold when I go to Fold, because I bought my tickets to go to see the Innovisions party that I mentioned the other day. So if you guys are on the fence and not deciding where to go, I recommend you go and check that out. I actually bought my tickets just now, but these boots are fucking amazing and will go really well with what I'm wearing. And this is basically my swag or my style for the season. These sort of boots, especially for the winter. I'm gonna get some nice big leather trousers. I'm gonna get a nice leather trench coat, kind of full on Matrix vibes. And if I want to wear some other stuff, I'll probably have some Rick Owens pants that I have and intermingle some stuff with it. And then the other thing that I'm thinking of getting, especially for the winter, if you're wondering what kind of shoes I want to buy, there's these new Rick Owens. See if I can find them. Rick Owens Dark Shadow, right? It's also Dark Shadow stuff, I think. Let's see if I can find it. It's a Rick Owens shoes, which I can find it. Which one is it? It's like a Rick Owens shoes, but it's stacked sole. Again, I know I'm going ham with the stacked sole, and I'm not really caring right now, but I think these stacked sole shoes look fucking banging. Probably one of the best things I've seen in a while. All right, see if I can find them on here for you guys to see. Let's go on Rick Owens men here. So menu, see refine. Let's scroll down to Dark Shadow. I'm pretty sure it's the Dark Shadow shoes. They're essentially the same. What are they called? What the fucking not the Geo baskets. What are they called? See if I can find them. There's a Rick Owens shoe that's now double stacked, so it's basically this but stacked. Right, so I think these are my winter shoes I'm going to go for. So yeah, there we go. We're going shoes with a double sole on them, right? So they're coming. So yeah, there's not many sizes left actually. Only my size there on the 44. But yeah, double sole bumper shoes, or Larry double bumper shoes. I don't know what they call, but yeah, they look fucking banging, don't they? What do you guys think? So that's my basically idea of what I want to wear for winter coming up. Double sole shoes all the way. So something like this, or then the Rick Owens shoes. I mean, something like this. The Rick Owens double stack shoes, and then obviously my New York boots. But yeah, I'm gutted it didn't come in time, and I think these would have looked so good on me at Berlin. Imagine wearing this with my Vetements hoodies and all my big trousers and shit. It would look so incredible. These look really cool. Some leather pants actually. Imagine some Chrome Hearts leather pants will look fucking banging with these. I probably might have to get some vintage ones because Chrome Hearts might be a bit outside of my budget, but I'll see what I can do. But yeah, lovely boots. Got them both yesterday. Yeah, well, the other day finally picked them. I was able to pick them up because parcel force were rubbish with getting stuff sent to you at the right time. But yeah, these are both of them. Look, they're so heavy. I've been literally dragging them up. You could probably do a workout with these two. Like, they're fucking massive. Look how blonks they are. Look at that. They're fucking wham. But yeah, can't wait to wear them and get them out there and be one of the first people on social wearing them properly, right? Set trends, mate, because I'm an influencer. All right, so that's my update for my stuff. Let's get into some topics. First on the list here, we have Man United will stick with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, even if we end up getting smashed by Liverpool. So this is a story that came out it looks like throughout the international week, the Man United press department is briefing all press about our developments, because obviously it's a quiet week and there's no pressure with games and all that malarkey. There's a 2-week period they can kind of, what do you call it? Fan the flames a little, not fan the flames, but they can kind of diminish the flames somewhat, pour water all over them. So they're trying their best to make sure they paint us in a good light. There is actually a plan in place, but we know there's no plan in place. We know that if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer ends up losing 6-0 at fucking Liverpool and then gets spanked again in the next game, he'll probably be out of a job. We know it's going to happen. Boards are fickle. The moment a board comes out and says, "Oh, we're standing behind you, we know you're going to do the right thing," is the moment that you should be probably deciding what your next steps are going forward. Again, so this is a story that come out here from the Business Times. There's a few others I think that have come out too, but I'm going to quickly talk about this one and read this out. So this headline is from the Business Times, and it says Manchester United confirms Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will stay at Old Trafford and continue rebuilding. Manchester United has confirmed that the team boss Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is safe on the job and will continue the efforts of beefing up the Red Devils roster. Rumours continue to persist that the Norwegian manager will be booted out following United's defeat at the hands of equally struggling Newcastle. If after the international break the United staff suffers another loss, reports claimed it would be over for Solskjaer, but the club board has important things in mind. The Times reported Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Man United is safe even if they suffer a bad defeat at Liverpool next week, the publication said. The United board is said to be willing to give Solskjaer the time and space he requires to reverse the slump the Reds Devils have been experiencing on the ongoing season. After 8 games, United is now in a precarious top position and is only 2 points shy of getting relegated. So the club is keeping faith on with the embattled manager. United board is determined to be patient with Solskjaer, acknowledging the scale of the job he has taken on and held a series of meetings with him and the club to extensive recruitment staff about 4 signings, including a centre forward they want to make next year. So, interesting things, right? The problem that I have with the whole Ole Gunnar Solskjaer given time thing is that when we were going through that, we had a good little honeymoon period with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, then the kind of reality kicked in and we started playing shit. We ended the season horribly. Right, and during that period, he maintained that the reason why we ended it horrible was because we didn't have the adequate level of fitness. Right, the players weren't fit enough to carry out what he wanted to do, and it's a common theme you hear a lot about some of the new age kind of modern managers. Right, this idea that the first prerequisite, I think even Pochettino's like that. Right, quite a lot of the modern managers won't even include players in their training sessions if they're not at the required level of fitness. Right, there's no point of him kind of giving you instructions or teaching you about shape or teaching you about how he wants the game to play if you can't carry it out in a physical manner, if you're not physically fit to do it. So they won't even include you in the team, right? They'll just put you to the side and say, hey, get fit first. Once you're fit, he can reintroduce you back into the team, reintroduce you back into the group, no problem. So Solskjaer's like, no, give me a pre-season, let me get these guys training first, and then you'll see the best of them come out. So he gets a pre-season, he gets his signings that he wants. He doesn't get all of them. He gets 3 out of 5. I think we all said we wanted 5 signings. That doesn't include the 3 senior players that we let go. If maybe 4 if you include Sanchez and Herrera, Fellaini, Lukaku, and Sanchez, right? So we needed 5 before those guys left, and so those guys left. And you think, okay, cool, let's bring 5 in and then promote, I don't know, 2 or 3 to replace the other ones that have just gone left, right? They're left to kind of support the system. Doesn't happen. He gets 3 out of the 4 out of the 5, but still better than nothing, right? Most United managers prior to his introduction sometimes didn't get anything, right? You only have to look at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You have to look at Roberto Mourinho, the struggles he had with the board, getting players in, and look at the stuff that Van Gaal had to go through. So he got 3 out of 5, not too bad. He gets the entire preseason to get the players up to speed or doing the things that he needs to do or being the requisite level of fitness and to be able to enact that pressing game, quote unquote, that he is so enamored with. And then we start the season off, a victory against Chelsea. That's a bit of a jammy one and whatever. And then now we're in a position where our football and the pressing that he was kind of championing has maybe led to a lot of these muscular injuries that some of our players are suffering from. The press that we're doing isn't necessarily a group press, not like a press with any sort of rhyme or reason. It's just players running full speed at players who have the ball and trying to hunt the ball down. There's no kind of team logic or idea behind how we're going to press and how we're going to kind of squeeze the ball out of the opposition. It's just kind of players running at the opponents. And now we're in a position where some of our senior players are completely injured, right? And now I've read a story that they're supposed to be bringing in some some strength and conditioning specialists to come in and aid Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in kind of trying to remedy some of the injuries that we're having at the moment. But it's like, come on. He had all this time to kind of show his mettle as a coach and kind of see that he's heading us in a good direction. But so far, we've seen no improvement in football. We've seen no improvement in shape. We've seen no improvement in personnel. He's been adamant of playing some of the senior players who are obviously past their best. Matic, a player who's been openly and publicly disrespecting him, questioning his ability, questioning the reason why he's not included in the team. He's been getting selected in the team. Mata has been playing. Rashford has been playing even through injury. He doesn't get dropped. Okay, he can't get dropped because we don't have any other senior players, but he should be getting dropped. That's what big managers do, right? They make a call because I'd much rather give Rashford a 2-week rest and then bring him back in the most important game than have him play against Astana or something, right? So there's nothing he's shown so far has given me any hope that he's going to be able to rectify it with signings. And I think that's the problem that we have so far in United. We're not a football team. We're a team that's relying on big players coming in and changing our fortunes, individual moments. But that's not what we need. I think most fans will think that squad that we have at the moment, if fit, is much better than the position that we're in now. It's much better than the position we finished last season. We are probably the 4th best team in the league, even with the injuries, right? We probably are if we have a competent manager. I honestly think that. I think the Premier League outside the top 3 isn't as good as people try and make it out as, right? So if you compete with the top 6 sides, including Arsenal, including Chelsea going through their transition, there's quite a good chance that you're able to finish in the top 4. So the fact that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer keeps falling flat on his face, doesn't seem to have an idea of how to change games mid-game, right? The only thing he does is switch the wingers on the flank. There's no real ingenuity about the players he's picking. It's all kind of obvious choices. Nothing kind of clever about what he does. What signing's going to do to it? I don't really get it. But again, I guess if you're United board, you've hired and fired everyone else. You have to give this guy a chance now, right? Because there's nothing else. What's the point of repeating your old mistakes, right? Especially if Ed Woodward isn't going to get fired, especially if we're not going to get a football director, they might as well give this guy a chance. Now, if we get a football director in, I think it's probably more likely that Solskjaer will get fired because the football director will have a very clear view of how he wants the football to be played or how he wants the club, how he wants to have our image to be molded in. What kind of football do we kind of stand behind? What is our philosophy, right? What is that kind of flag that we put on the ground? And if Solskjaer can't line up towards it or get behind it, then another manager will come in. But at the moment, they're going to probably have to stick with him. Anyway, the article continues. The United manager is in fact has been on a hiring spree, but has elected not to rush in filling the gaps of talent plaguing the club right now. I fucking hate this idea of not rushing the value in the squad. We have to rush. The football moves on without you if you don't keep up or if you don't innovate or if you don't, whatever. It moves along. This idea that we can kind of take things slowly and wait to see how it goes is nonsense, mate. Absolute nonsense. According to Metro, Solskjaer is focused on hiring young talents as evidence of the recent arrival of Daniel James, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire. For future acquisitions, United is bent on following the same model. So Brexit FC, of course. All right, whatever. Also, it's unlikely that Solskjaer will play heed to the recent recommendations by United legend Gary Neville, who acknowledged the club know that they want and the fans know that, but they have to be a right type. It's take 18 months to find the players you want. What? It's so annoying. They need a couple midfield strike and to carry this front line and a wide player and a left back. On this part, it was clear that the vote of confidence from United board boosted players. Solskjaer, the Mirror reported, instead of enjoying the break, the team boss opted to use time for training. His call for training was answered by Anthony Martial, Luke Shaw, Jesse Lingard, and Eric Abayi. Solskjaer himself is seen in high spirits and gave a thumbs up while driving to the training ground, reports added. Yeah, of course he's in high spirits, man. It's a dream. Like, he's got no right to have that job, right? I think we all hoped as United fans that he'd be able to take that job by the scruff of the neck and kind of prove all his doubters wrong, because his CV shows that he should have no right to get that job. I think if he leaves, or if and when he leaves, or if he gets fired, I think his next job will prove what level he's at. Same with David Moyes, right? He left United. So people would like say, oh, he was unfair, he wasn't given time. He was a fucking garbage manager who achieved garbage results at Everton, stifled them, didn't really take them anywhere that far. I'm sure Everton fans aren't really hankering for the days of David Moyes. And his next appointments afterwards shows what his level is going to be at. And I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to see the same thing with him too. His next appointments after this will definitely show his level. I'm pretty sure he won't get another Premier League job again after United. And it's really his own fault. He had opportunity to really kind of, again, rewrite his history, give himself a chance to kind of put himself on a world map and really bring something different and new. But instead, he got scared of losing a job. He started playing it safe. He elected to pick the likes of Ashley Young. He elected to play this weird winger cross thing, football with no an actual centre forward in the lineup. He elected to let go of Alexis Sanchez when we had no senior front striker to play. Like, loads of really weird things that he did. He didn't sign a replacement for Herrera, even though he knew, 18 months prior that Herrera was going to go because he received a derisory contract extension. He gave a contract extension to the likes of Phil Jones and Craig Smalling. Just completely brain dead decisions that were in part due to his inability to kind of, maybe think a bit more creatively about solutions that we had on board. And now he's wondering what he needs. What, one player? We're going to get a Mandzukic in the winter. Even with the, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a weird thing to go through. But again, if the board want to give him time, fair enough. But I don't think it's going to change anything. I think he's an average manager. Unfortunately, coaching an average squad at the moment with the injuries, and he doesn't really have an answer to, find any solutions to the problems at the moment. So what can you do? Next on the list here, 6ix9ine got himself a $10 million deal. See what I told you yesterday? I told you yesterday, guys, that 6ix9ine is going to be a watershed moment. It's going to change everything that we know about etiquette within the hip hop community or within hip hop artistry, right? The idea that you can't snitch, or street politics, or road rules, or whatever it may be, roadman rules, or whatever, goon rules. It's going to change everything about that. It's going to make us rethink it, because now that hip hop has gone pop or it's gone mainstream, the rules are going to be a bit different. It's not going to be the same as it was prior when it was a bit underground. It was a bit more close to home. Now that it's spread out and it's so thin and it's so worldwide, someone like a Tekashi 6ix9ine could essentially get himself a big deal. And if he wanted to, he could make an album of reggaeton based music. He could make an album of hip hop music. He could just completely go out and, move over to Europe and just tour the whole of Europe, for 10 times over and make absolute bank. He could do whatever the fuck he wants in this regard, because he's a hip hop star. He can take that kind of star appeal everywhere, sprinkle it somewhere where people don't really care about his case, and continue living. Of course, what are the OG kind of like gangster, sort of like, really well known or really well regarded in the street rappers going to stand next to him? Probably not. Does he care? I don't think so. So this story came out recently. Really interesting story. From TMZ, it says that Tekashi 6ix9ine has got headline is Tekashi 6ix9ine snitches get millions, scores massive record deal. This is an article from TMZ. It says a record label is banking on Tekashi 6ix9ine getting out of prison sooner rather than later, surviving all the snitching he did, because it's investing big bucks on rapper making music again. Sources close to Tekashi 6ix9ine tell TMZ he just cut a record deal worth $10 million. Which I think is more than his initial deal he got when he was out of prison, right? I think that deal was about 1 or 2 mil, right, advance or something stupid like that for one album. So he's able to cut a new deal of $10 million. It's going to include, I'm sure, some sort of video, documentary. It's going to include an amazing, we're probably going to see one of the greatest press marketing runs of all time when he comes out of prison and goes to the Breakfast Club, goes to Hot 97, goes to Sway in the Morning, goes to all these places, right? Tells his story and really, or kind of sits down with Charlamagne, does a really long and in-depth kind of conversation, sits down with academics on live stream, on Twitch, whatever. It's going to be one of the greatest press runs we've seen of all time. He's going to throw everyone on the bus. He's going to be ragging on everyone, trolling everyone. It's going to be an absolute horror show. There's going to be bodies everywhere, right? So it's close to say that he got $10 million deal with his former label 10K Projects, which is that kind of what's that one? It's that kind of under the radar label that not a lot of people know about, right? Is it the one that Trippie Redd signed to as well? Isn't it? I'm presuming, right? Anyway, yeah, see, look, this is the thing I said before. Once it takes a free man, sources say that he'll get money in return for putting out 2 albums, one in English and one in Spanish. Of course, bro. Of course. All those reggaeton guys are going to go and collaborate with him, and they make bank. We broke the story. Tekashi 6ix9ine seems to believe him testifying against his old gang will be forgotten, and once he's released from prison, and his tracks will be more popular than ever, which I definitely agree with. I don't think, again, I just think this idea that he's going to suffer greatly because he's decided to snitch on his co-defendants is really ignorant or really naive, especially nowadays where people hardly care about anything, right? Attention spans are very, very, very short, and in general, it's something that a lot of people don't really have any understanding of, or the the severity of the situation. They just see it as like I don't know, they just see it as a thing. So the fact that he can come out and do it is going to be amazing. Again, it's going to be I can just see the press run. I can see the press run. I can see the album covers, the photo shoots, all that sort of stuff. None of the people that are actually going to put money in his pocket have said anything. Like I said previously in our podcast, no radio station came out and said they weren't going to play him or interview him. No label said they weren't going to sign him. No big personalities that kind of cuts checks in the industry was, kind of said anything negative about him. People were just silent. The only people saying stuff about him were the rappers and the artists who come from that world, right? Or who have friends that are living that kind of lifestyle, who have friends that are maybe locked up. off the back of somebody else snitching on them. So those are the ones that kind of felt personally aggrieved by it, which I kind of have sympathy for too, because it's something that you're witnessing and you're seeing people kind of take the piss out of it and joke around with it like it's a game. It's not a game. But everyone else, everyone's just viewing it. Everyone else is basically viewing it like it's a game. So yeah, let's see what happens, man. $10 million deal. Wow, amazing turn of events as always. This guy, even from jail, he's fucking always in the headlines, causing an absolute mischief. But yeah, to get 6ix9ine is due to come out in the beginning of next year. They're saying they brought the case forward. So $10 million straight out of prison, dripping in gold, dripping in diamonds. That girl that tatted 6ix9ine on her head's probably gonna be waiting for him as well. So yeah, I mean, she tattooed on the shoulder, didn't she? Yeah, with the rainbow hair. So let's see what happens going forward. What else is next on the list here? We got this really cool interview with people that were really greatly affected or positively affected by the Sober October challenge that's been sweeping the nation or sweeping the interwebs. I know for it's mostly just dudes like me who listen to Joe Rogan, right? There's a lot of guys that listen to Joe Rogan and kind of do everything that he says, and we're oddly influenced by stuff that he's doing. And even today when I was listening to the Cameron Haynes and Joe Rogan podcast, I was thinking, what, I might need to buy a compound, bro. It gets you thinking about stuff like that. I'm even thinking of doing stand-up comedy for the first time this year as one of my challenges for Sober October. Running, doing martial arts. I did Muay Thai because of soap. There's loads of influence happening, but I love that, even though I'm not a big fan of the whole phrase of like, oh, use your platform responsibly and your kids are watching you. It feels as if, like, especially in the last few years, Joe Rogan has really purposely, or not purposely, but he's done it without being super, preachy about it, has kind of made sure to, he's changed the way he kind of communicates with people he doesn't agree with. He's very clear about making sure he tells people what he thinks is, makes a good man, or what he thinks makes a good person. And then it's up to you, the listener, to kind of divulge that information, pick apart from it, and apply it to your life. So it's a really cool article here from the New York Post talking about some people that had benefit from the Sober October challenge. I'll go here on the screen. It says the following. This is from the New York Post. How Joe Rogan inspired Sober October is getting people to be healthier. And I can agree with that. It's a nice fine gentleman called Colin Dempsey chugging on a Guinness in one shot, and another shot he's got a bottle of Pellegrino water. So awesome. So it says the following. Colin Dempsey often gets paid in drinks when he gigs, right? But for the month of October, the 42-year-old singer guitarist from Astoria is taking a big step to reduce his post-show IPAs. He's taking part in Sober October, a catchy-sounding sobriety challenge which has tens of thousands of posting pics of their mocktails on social media. Similar to the hugely popular Dry January, it's a way of announcing to the world they're cleaning up their acts for healthy reasons, if only for 1 month. My ideal goal would be to be able to drastically reduce my alcohol intake to a rare occasion, Dempsey tells the Post. If I say to myself, get through October and break the habit, then maybe I can have one drink once a week or once every 2 weeks, which I agree with, right? I think that's essentially what Sober October does for me. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm never going to have a sip of alcohol again, but it's more so about putting forward or establishing some good habits so that when I get off Sober October, I'm not exactly going to go on an absolute tear up and drink every single day, but I'm going to go back to what I was before post Sober October, where I was making sure I didn't have any alcohol at home. I could only drink when I went outside. I only got on it, quote unquote, when I was a weekend and stuff like that. Never during the week. Little things that you do just to kind of make sure that you have some sort of structure in your life. But then, if you're not in Sober October, you can kind of, the wheels can fall off the wagon and you can kind of get a bit crazy, and you have a tough week at work, or you can have a bit of an argument with a friend, all of a sudden you start indulging in some dodgy stuff. But Sober October is a good reset button. It allows you to kind of get those habits back into a kind of manageable fashion in some way, shape or form. Again, it could continue. You could go on to become sober completely, but for me, I think it's more so of a thing of like, let me just put some building blocks in place that allow me to be my best self, or to be my most functional self, so that I can do the things that I want to do, that I'm more happy with, right? I'm more content with, like, running, going to the gym, recording this podcast, writing, learning a language, reading a book. Those are things that really bring me happiness. The other stuff is kind of a kind of auxiliary kind of plus on the end of it. And it continues, and while there are plenty of boozy Sober October fail pics documented on Instagram, the movement is gaining traction here after starting in Australia about 10 years ago. It's become an annual fixture of Joe Rogan Experience podcast, and celebs like Nikki Glazier and Roseanne Barr have joined the host to discuss the challenge. Bar told the host on his October 2 show that she hasn't taken Ambien since blaming it on the racist Twitter storm last year. Most participants say it's a health thing. Dempsey, for example, began running and eating healthily after turning 40. I felt like drinking was completely nullifying all the hard work I was doing with my diet and exercise, which I definitely agree. But I think for me, again, my drinking has only really been ramped up because of DJing, but only happens when I DJ on the weekends. I only DJ Friday and Saturday for the most part, right? So I have those 2 days where I'm going to drink, but I don't necessarily drink during the week. Like, I know a lot of my friends after work, especially when I leave, especially when I used to work around Oxford Street. No, when I used to work around Liverpool Street Station or Shoreditch, and you're leaving those areas to go to Liverpool Street Station to kind of go home, you'd always see people at the bars and clubs and stuff, whatever, having a drink after work or just before they go back home. And that's something I never really did. I only kind of drank when I was going out on a night out, which is a Friday, Saturday, or if I was DJing. So I didn't really have that feeling of like I'm nullifying all my hard work because I'm trading so much in the week. But it was more so a thing of like, the more I kept doing it, the more it started to seep into other areas of my life, and then little by little, I might start drinking on a Tuesday, blah, blah, blah. But for the most part, I like this because, again, it kind of establishes some good habits going forward. It says the following, for a 35-year-old Nick, an audio engineer from Chicago suburbs who declined to provide his full name for privacy reasons, Sober October is one more step in his year-long path to healthy living. Over the past year, he's lost almost 100 pounds. He has four-year-old son he needs to have energy for, but working upwards of 8 hours a week propelled him to drink beer or whiskey after hours to ease the job stress. I had noticed a pattern in me drinking. It was getting worse, adding that he first heard of Sober October on Joe Rogan's podcast. Though still early in the month, Nick reports good results, and he's excited to see how cutting his alcohol intake will add to his overall endurance. For instance, a month ago before Sober October, he went hiking while on vacation in Northern Illinois and didn't feel as winded. For those struggling with alcoholism, Sober October and Dry January aren't necessarily safe solutions, but for those who just want to keep their drinking at a healthy level, the month-long booze vacation can be beneficial, says Cindy Feinberg, a New York City-based substance abuse specialist who runs a recovery coach NY. I always think it's a good thing to explore your drinking. She says, I think people still step away from Sober October thinking, this is how I feel, this is what I've been discovering about drinking. Jay Huffman, a 30-year-old product manager outside of Atlanta, usually keeps himself to just several drinks per week, like a nightly glass of wine and a few drinks on Friday and Saturday nights. But in 2006, his father was diagnosed with renal cell carcinoma, a kidney cancer that's not caused by drinking, but one that drinking definitely didn't help. His father survived, and it made Huffman stop drinking for some time. Now Huffman has a 4-month-old daughter, Cecilia, and he'd like to have a clear head for her. Though he's inclined to grab beers with friends on weekends, which I'm a big fan of. Again, I think that's probably the best way to do it socially in that regard, especially not as a kind of stress reliever. I think socially with friends to kind of, talk about some shit, laugh and joke, have a good time. That's all right. But to relieve stress, I don't think it's ever a good idea. It only kind of leads to bad results or bad decisions. Now Huffman's a 4-year-old daughter, Cecilia, and he'd like to have a clear head for her. Though he inclined to grab drinks on the weekend, he thinks Sober October can help him stay clean all days of the week. I just think it's healthy for anybody to have a look at their relationship with those types of things. So yeah, great little article there from the New York Post. I recommend you check it out. I put it in the show notes for you guys to see. It's called How Joe Rogan Inspires Sober October. And yeah, I'm on the train too, so jump on board, Sober October friends. Jump on board. So next here on this, what do we have? What do we have here to talk about here? Oh shit! You see this really cool thing about the time that Ari Shaffir went to the Berghain. It's a really cool video. I'll play it in the background because I'm sure Joe Rogan's gonna contact ID me with this stuff. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. That's it, really. But so, Ari Shaffir went to the Berghain and he made this incredible kind of he did a really good interview story about how it was to be in there, and the kind of sensory overload. And I think it was a pretty good description of it. Some people in the techno subreddit were annoyed to hear Ari Shaffir going to Berghain and how he described it, but I think he described it in such a freakish way that it kind of sounded like he kind of admired how hedonistic and how loose and how free of a place the Berghain was, right? How people were embracing who they really were in this amazing space. I think so. I think it was really cool to see. Let me see if I can find it here. There we go, and play it for you guys. Hopefully you can hear it on your end.
The Joe Rogan experience.
It's a really cool video. This is
Germany, in Berlin. It was fucking so fun, dude. I've been having fun going.
It's called a Berghain.
Yeah.
See, he doesn't remember the name even. That's so cool, man.
It's fucking nuts. They do shit on another level there. I'm not into EDM and stuff, but like, it was great. As soon as you walk in, it's like, okay, first of all, you can't even get in. Oh my god. Okay, the first thing you see when you get in is just a bunch of people in leather, worn out. It goes from Friday night, midnight, until like Monday at about noon. Whoa. You can just stay in and do hella drugs and just dance for like techno and like house music on different floors.
People die in there.
And that's the major big thing about Berghain, right? The fact that there's panorama bar in there too, right? So if you don't really like techno, which is probably a little bit more, you know, darker, a bit more of a grungier feel, a little bit more then, you know, panorama bar you can't scoff at panorama bar. It's probably one of the best house disco floors you're going to find anywhere in the world, right? They book some of the best people playing there, right? It's an amazing space. So imagine that kind of juxtaposition of playing at the panorama bar or playing at Berghain. You're still going to get an amazing experience. You're still going to see some of the best DJs in the world flexing their muscles in that space. So that's a really cool thing to see.
They must. They must.
They must go too hard and have heart attacks.
Yeah. But everyone, they must.
Yeah.
But when you're down there, it's on the third level where there's no, and just people just coming down. I went in like a day and a half, so it was like Sunday when I went. So people were just like out of it, sweaty, girls with like tutus and like whatever. There's a coat check place where somebody said, somebody checked their gimp one time.
Oh, yeah. The coat check place?
Yeah. Like, yeah. Okay. The very first thing I saw, I go in, it's overwhelming. Me and my promoter were there. We're like, this is fucking too much. And we're like, all right, let's get beers. And I saw, this is so great, dude. The way to get in is just to wear all black or wear leather or just be with gay people.
I love it.
Get in, and they make sure it's like a good time for everybody. And they make you put a sticker over your phone, no pictures. They'll throw you the fuck out. Do whatever drugs you want. Anyway, as soon as I see that, there's a guy at the end of the bar just getting jerked off.
And that's, again, the sticker thing. The sticker thing is amazing because it just kind of resets you, right? It kind of makes you aware that, okay, now I'm in this place. Whatever my habits prior, whatever my actions that I did when I go out in other places are going to be completely reset. This is a completely different space. There are different expectation levels, different way of conducting yourself. It really allows you to it mentally kind of puts you in the zone, in the mood. I think already when you're in a queue and you read all the stories online about how you can't talk, you can't be too boisterous, you can't be too fucked up, you got to be really you kind of have to be really kind of, you know, sober kind of going in. Again, it's another thing that they're really clever about doing, which people don't really people underestimate. The fact that the majority of people in that queue are relatively sober compared to the level of sobriety they're at when they go out, right? In their kind of hometowns or in other cities they go to, they're usually more fucked up. So the fact that they have a queue of people who are relatively at the same level, right? Especially if you come at those kind of times, you come at the times that most people go. You go at 4 a.m., 6 a.m., midday on Sunday. You're all coming together in this big bunch, and you're all very clear-eyed, right? No one's fucked up. Everyone's kind of awake. And ready to kind of experience the music they're going to go and see or hear. So once you go in, that security guard puts that sticker on your phone on both sides, you suddenly think, okay, this is it. This is another thing. This is something else, right? I'm here to kind of party. I'm here to have a good time, and everything else doesn't matter. I fucking love it, man. Honestly, I absolutely love it. I can't have any more bad words to say about it. But let's just hear what Gary has to say about this guy getting wanked up at the bar.
Off as he's ordering.
By a guy or a girl?
By a guy.
Jerked out by a guy.
Yeah. And he's fucking ordering the beer out of it on drugs and still trying to get some. His other hand is just gone inside his asshole. Yeah, a full, like, because it didn't make sense. The jerk doesn't. Yeah, I don't know.
Something.
It might have been
Fingers?
open. It might have been. I don't know what it was doing on the inside. It might have been open or closed.
Like a puppet?
Yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Debauchery. You just get drugs in the bathroom, dance and dance and dance.
Woo. Yeah.
You see full like blowjobs going on.
Wow.
It's like anything goes. People are out with their like dicks out, just fucking jumping and dancing.
If you gave everybody drugs, that's what they would do.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Such a good space.
Good times.
It was the best. You just walk around.
See, that's what I like about it. It's a shock and awe. It's pure debauchery. It's a scene out of like, it reminds you of something of a scene out of Sodom and Gomorrah, right? You know when you're in church and your parents used to read you, I don't know, the gates of hell, right? I used to think about what hell would look like and how they'd paint, like, you know, I'm picturing my parents being super conservative, black parents from the Christian church or from, you know, Pentecostal evangelical churches. You know, they'd paint nightclubs and nightlife like, you know, there's demons and roaming the streets and all this sort of shit. Essentially, Berghain is that, right? But it's essentially what your parents warned you about, but it's so much fun. That's the thing, it's so fun. It's such a good time that you're like, you know what? They're probably missing out a lot, and life is short, man. Why not just go out and enjoy yourself? And yeah, it's an experience. Because again, I think the good thing about it too is that you don't leave. I remember when I first started going to Berghain, I had this really convoluted opinion that every club should be like this around the world. People should copy this model. Why doesn't London do the same thing? And you go, you're just rabbiting on about this stupid points. But the whole reason why it's special, the whole reason why it is what it is because it's this one independent place on its own, right? There's nothing else like it in the world. That's what makes it. That's why I traveled how many miles to go there on the weekend and spend however much money I did for that whole weekend just to go and hang out at that place, right? On my own. That's why people do that, because it's such a special place. The moment you start replicating it in other cities, the moment it kind of completely dies. So that's, again, a smart thing in their case. Like, in the same reason, you know, you see, like, what's that In-N-Out Burger? They purposely don't have franchises further east of the West Coast, right? They only have a small amount. They could, you know, license out or franchise out their restaurants all over the United States or maybe even Europe and the UK, but they don't. They keep a real tight grip on their operations. And then what happens is it makes those places destination venue to go to. Every person you've spoken to that's gone to the West Coast has gone to get an In-N-Out. It's going to have a story to tell you at work. So when you've decide your next trip and you want to go to LA, the first thing you're going to do is go where? In-N-Out. So same with Berghain, right? There's so much conversation about it. The first time you end up stumbling across this place, or you end up happening to be at Berlin for a work thing, or you just go for a holiday, the first thing you're going to want to do is go to this place that everyone keeps talking about, because you want to go see it for yourself if you're curious like me. And then when you finally go there, you're going to be like, I get it. There's going to be two ways to say.
And you go to the bathroom. Somebody eventually was looking for like anything.
What are we trying to get?
Ecstasy, probably.
Right.
Molly, you know, something like that. Somebody eventually gave me one. I was like, I got enough from my promoter guy too, and he was like, no, I'm going home. I'm only staying until like 3. I got my kids like soccer game tomorrow. All right, so I'll throw this out there.
He's a bad. Look at him, an influence. Look how bad his with it.
We'll just throw out the ecstasy. And he's like, fucking relax. So he took some, and then we just start dancing, man. It was so fun.
So
the
cool.
music is nuts. They got like the best DJs in the world.
I love it.
Go down there and just like show off.
Yeah, just like do sets.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Comedy Store. Kind of like the Comedy Store, where it's like the best comics in the world doing it for what, $15?
Wow.
Nothing to do with the money. They're trying to show off.
I love it.
Wow.
Oh God, it was so fucking fun.
See, told you that's the effect it has on people, man. That fun. I just idea that wow, adults, because it's so hard to have adult fun in it. When you're a kid, you have fun in just doing anything, right? You don't really do much, and you have fun. The fact that you're outside of your house, you're having fun. The fact that your parents aren't around is fun. But when you're an adult, it's quite hard to have fun times. And if you are having fun times, you've paid a lot of money for it, right? You only have to look at fucking Time Out magazine about what to do in a weekend. Everything involves fucking 50, 30 pound pre-registering tickets. Even if you want to go to a fucking sewing class, right? You have to pay 30 quid. So all these fun activities that you're doing are being, forced on you, you're being required to, shell out, pounds after pounds after pounds after pounds. But imagine Berghain, €18, €5 re-entry fee, fucking peanuts to see some of the best DJs in the world, just throwing it down. You can't complain. But yeah, great video there talking about the Berghain again. See, that's what happens. Then you go, and then you just start talking about. I've talked about maybe 3 episodes in a row, but I don't care, man. It's so cool. It's so fucking cool. What else is on here? I want to speak about. Let's see here. Oh, you know what? Maybe we should talk about some. Do you want to hear about some Paris Fashion Week stuff, or maybe why not? So Paris Fashion Week has wrapped up. Loads of street style pictures got put out. The slideshow that I like to check out is by the guy called Phil O, right? Phil O from that does the stuff with Vogue. Unfortunately, Jack and Jill, that dude has now stopped taking pictures, right? What's his name again? I forgot his name. But he's now doing fashion collections, so you don't really get pictures from him anymore. But so far, let's see what people are wearing at the Paris Fashion Week streets. Let's see what we can maybe spec out in terms of trends that we're going to maybe add to our wardrobes coming for this kind of up and coming fall season. But yeah, it's women's already. It's women's too, so there might be a lot of looks that you guys are going to be interested in. But you know, it's worth kind of having a little nosy at what these fashionistas were wearing when they went to Paris Fashion Week this season. So here it is from Vogue. It's called Phil O's Best Street Style Photos from Paris Fashion Week, spring 2020. I'll link in the show notes. Don't worry, guys. So you'll be able to see that yourself. So yeah, let's get this party started. All right, let's get this party started. Let's see what people have got here. What they're wearing. So we've got some interesting boots here. A nice little jumpsuit in leather on there. We've got a group of Korean girls, maybe they're part of a band, maybe not, but I like their boots in general. Maybe some people are going to see coming forward in full, right? These little tulip skirts, bare legs and boots. I'm not a fan of that. This lady's dress is really nice. I love the color combination on the lady's dress here on the right. She's got a little sort of silver, is that Prada? Maybe Loewe. Got kind of like a grey leather jacket on with pink lapels and a kind of cobalt blue skirt with black boots. I really like the color combos. I think that works really well. This black girl here looks amazing too. So again, we see that look on the other slide too. Do you see it? That kind of like tulip kind of bubble skirt with the bare legs and the boots is sort of like a look going forward, I think, this season. This guy here just got the classic kind of TN all black kind of, you know, that's all like the trendy architect or creative director look, right? The young guy, right, with black TNs, tailored trousers, a nice kind of knit turtleneck or whatever it may be. We've got let's say about her better. We've got these two Asian girls with dyed hair, which they look cool too. I like their boots. Floral dresses on, dresses, skirts, nice little fleece tops on. This lady's dress is quite nice as well. I don't like this trousers, they're quite weird. That's a nice little all white pearly look there. Looks very, very fresh. I like those look too with the jeans and the boots. Looks really nice. Got nice little long coats, pinstripe here. Awesome shit. Is that Layla Zark? Wow, long time no see, man. Fucking icon of street style back in the day. I love the indie scene, isn't it? She's still about knocking about doing a damn thing. She was great there with a kind of a weird Chanel outfit. The shorts look quite Tom Brownish, and she's got this weird Chanel pinstripe jumper on. That's quite a cool look as well, with a sort of like Red Riding Hood. Is it Red Riding Hood? Sort of like weird kind of cape thing on top of it. I like that look from this girl here with the high-waisted jeans. That's quite cool. I'm not a fan of this look there, not really. I like this Asian girl's look. She's sort of got like a jumpsuit on, but is it, what do you call that? A quilted or pile-lined leather jumpsuit short combo thing with some boots on. The boots look really cool. The boots remind me of Rick Owens with the kind of, or maybe with a zip that kind of goes diagonally on the side there. I'm a big fan of those. You know what I'd like to see actually going forward with the Jaden boot, the Dr. Martens boots they have everyone's wearing. Oh, those are really popular in Berlin, by the way. Every guy and girl I saw out were wearing the Jaden boot that I have and the ones with the zip in the middle. So they're really popular. So I'm eager to see what the next iteration of those are going forward. But it'd be quite cool to see them do a Jaden boot with like a silver chunk, with like a big chunky silver zip on the side. I think that would look incredible. Of course, it's quite similar to a lot of the, you know, Boris and, you know, Rick Owen boots out there, but I think that would look quite cool. The Jaden boot with like a big chunky zip on the side, maybe, you know, Riri zip or YKK, nice, really thick, chunky zip. That would look pretty cool, especially if it was able to kind of spiral around the boot. That would look quite nice. And maybe a 12 hole one, right? Is that the 1290? Doesn't mind 1290 or 1490, I think that is, right? So the really high one that goes up to your calf, I think that'll look pretty good in that style as well. This lady's boots with the cowboy boots and the skirt with the blazer, I'm not really a fan of. I like this camel colored overcoat. I think I'm going to get one of these for my collection. Actually, I need a camel overcoat to kind of put over the stuff that I'm wearing, especially if I'm going to wear some of my other boots that I have in my collection at the moment. I'm not really a fan of this look. I think this is Raf Simons for Calvin Klein, right? The kind of, you know, the shirt with the pockets, contrast pockets, and the weird sort of cowboy boots I'm not a fan of. This guy's look I don't really like either. I like the girl at the end though. She looks really incredible. She's got like a black, there's a lot of black leather happening, right? Trousers this season, black leather trousers, really slinky top. That's a great little contrast color there too. Yeah, I like her in the background. Again, the background is really smashing it. Again, some nice patterns here from these two girls. Some check, some floral, maybe JW Anderson, maybe Loewe. Oh, I like these shoes as well. I think these are the Balenciaga shoes. It might be the Balenciaga boots that we saw in the collection gone by just recently. I like the actual belts tied around her waist there. They look really cool. I like the trousers. The shoes look really nice. I like her look as well. I'm not sure what that is from, but that looks really banging. Really compliments her well. Big puffy shoulders. Nice little, it's like a corset sort of outfit as well. It looks really nice. I like this girl's outfit. Very countryside-esque, right? What do you call that? Tartan or plaid? Harris tweed, right? Sort of like top shirt and a blazer and skirt combo. Looks incredibly good as well. Of course, bright yellows and kind of black skin or mixed race skin is always going to look really incredible, so big up to her. I'm not really a fan of the shoes in that regard, but hey ho. Again, a nice camel overcoat or brown coat, again, navy blue. I need that in my collection, so that's going to come sooner rather than later. I like the kind of print on the jeans on this one. Oh, some nice stuff here, isn't it? Oh, those are really nice as well. Let's kind of scroll back quickly. We've got Mark Ronson here and the actor from, I've got In-Betweeners. I forgot what that show was. I forgot that show was, but yeah, we've got him here, Mark Ronson, wearing a really nice outfit actually. Some nice pleated trousers. Also, please, some nice flared at the bottom trousers, which is again the big trend I'm seeing going forward. The people kind of flaring their jeans, which is really cool, with a nice crispy, pearly or off-white yellow kind of top. Very cool dad vibes there. I'm not really a fan of either of these looks there with the weird colors and the boots. Again, some nice black leather coats. I like this guy, sort of like weird. Is that a kilt? That's really cool, man. It's sort of like a patchwork kilt. Half of it is red, half of it is blue, and it's got some other bits and pieces on it too. I'm not really a fan of those trousers. I like the purple. That's really nice. Purple top, purple skirt, jumper combo. That's really cool too. I'm a fan of the Asian outfit too. That looks really nice. I like her outfit. I like this girl's outfit. Anna De La Rosa, of course, looking incredible as per usual. I like that she just looks her age, right? And it makes her look even hotter, really. Some people might think she looks scary, but I think she looks really incredible to us. I think she looks very attractive. Anna De La Rosa. She embraced her age and didn't, try and kind of, roll back the hands of time, which she never ever do anyway, really, if you get cosmetic surgery. What do I know? Some nice pops of color here. Really, really good stuff from everyone involved, I think, so far. Paris Fashion Week. That's why all the big hitters come out, right? You can't really fuck. Oh, the most boring woman in the world there. Rita Ora looks a bit shit there, to be honest with her, but hey, she's in the mix. That's what matters. This girl here looks a bit interesting. But yeah, it's Paris Fashion Week, isn't it? You can't really fuck around. You have to come with your A game. Oof, I love this guy's outfit. I don't know who that is, but that's sort of like a lace or sheer top, some amazing trousers with boots on, that pleat again on the side. Is that Louis Vuitton? Maybe it might be Louis Vuitton, Virgil. I'm not sure. That pleat that side split reminds you a bit of him. This Asian girl's outfit looks really cool as well. I like that. I like the contrasting high heel thing that's happening. You see a lot with girls wearing nowadays, like where essentially the body of the heel is one shade, is one color, and then the heel is another color. I think it adds a really good dynamism to the high heel. So it's probably a cool little design tricks to make, because it mixes it up quite easily without making that much of a design change. Not a fan of that. I like that Chanel bag that woman's got though, that little tote kind of looking bag. It looks really cool. I'm not a fan of the camo look there at all. Like this girl's jumper or jacket. I'm a fan again of the long coats. Look really nice, and kind of strip high heels. Nice color combo here on the right with the red, cream, and the yellow. I love this. This is a great outfit there actually on the right with the red waistcoat. Is that power sort of fleece? Massive chunky Chanel bracelet, Chanel waist bag, a nice little selvage denim and some white trainers. That looks fucking cool. Lily May looking great as well, some grills on. I like that top as well she's wearing. I'm not sure where that's from, but it looks amazing. She looks great in that, Lily May, man. She fucking smashes it per usual. To me, some great. Oh, this girl looks great. Let's make sure this girl fucking hell. Look at that outfit. So you got like a weird sheer, is that a Louis Vuitton shirt with like, some boobies hanging out, nice jewels, great heels. That's incredible outfit. Fuck me, that looks good. These two ladies here on the outside look really nice as well. Oh, I'm a big fan of that. Some good stuff, man. Justin Timberlake came through, his wifey looking dead. Oh, I love this look. All red with the shirt on. I think that's a dude, right? That's really good. It suits him really nice, actually. Yeah, some good outfits, man. By and large, some good outfits. This is Paris Fashion Week. People can't come with their dead games, innit? They gotta bring it. They gotta fucking bring it. Again, some nice tiger print. Oh, I like this tiger print jackets. So I'm not looking in the background. See, I need a long coat. I need a nice long olive or cream jacket that It's Inspector Gadget-esque jacket that I can put on top of most of my outfits and just swag out and look incredible. But yeah, a big fan of all this, huh? Some good stuff here from everyone involved in Paris Fashion Week. So yeah, big up everyone involved. Oh, Lotte Volkova again, looking awesome as per usual. I love her little quirky style. Is that like a lace hat? It's amazing, isn't it? I wonder where that outfit's from. Really nice contrast lace hat with lace lapels, pink sort of like cloudy pattern. I don't know what that is. Is that clouds? I don't know what it is on there. Where is that? With like some neon green tights and some heels on. Another great look here again. But yeah, everyone bought the drama. Oof. No one's fucking around today, man. No one's fucking around. So yeah, good to see from more people involved. Bringing it at Paris Fashion Week. But I'll link in the show notes for you guys to check out yourself anyway. I'll stop scrolling and looking now. Makes for a compelling podcast in this, doesn't it? Next on the list. Oh, we got this amazing stuff, right? I've seen this pop up on my feed because of the Travis Scott's Jordan 6s that are due to come out. I'm sure most people have been catching mad L's on them. I know I have. I'm just going to check my messages now and see whether or not that's so. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. Can I find it? Yep. Okay, so here it is. So we've got this amazing Steve Madden Malone Red Converse highs, right? That have basically taken inspiration from the Travis Scott colorway and the kind of Chicago Bulls-esque sort of like Virgil Abloh off-white Nike Jordan ones that came out a while back. And I'm not mad at them. I think I'd actually probably wear these instead of wearing the off-white Jordan ones. They actually look a little bit more interesting, a little bit more, you know, have a little bit more to them. Again, it's a straight rip. There's nothing interesting about these outside the fact that they have inspiration from these previous shoes. But I think the way that they've been done is quite cool. And especially it being a Converse, you know, Converse having a very steeped and long history in basketball. Converse being associated with Nike anyways in that regard too. I think it looked pretty interesting. So here they are on screen, as you can see. So essentially it's the same colorway you get for the Virgil Abloh, you know, Chicago Bulls off-white Jordan ones that came out a while ago, you know, as part of the 10 pack. So you got the kind of black, white, red colorway, and I think it looked really good in this model, man, or whatever this Converse is. It looks pretty cool. I love it, man. Look at that. Look how good that looks. Wow. The toe box has got that thing that I like, that shape where it's kind of really flat. It's got a bit more of a chunkier sole than a Jordan 1 would, so it reminds me a little bit more of like an Adidas Continental. Is that the shoe? Or the other kind of one, the backboard, I've got one of the ones called, but it's got a bit more of a prominent heel on it, a prominent sole, sorry. So you're not, you know, you don't feel like you're, because I always feel when I'm walking around Jordan 1s, I'm walking around with flip-flops, there's too much, it's too close to the ground. Obviously, basketball reasons is probably a reason why behind it, but I like the fact that it's got a bit more chunkier sole. Of course, it's got the added, you know, some straight rips on it with how, you know, the kind of the color hue, the way he's done this kind of inside out pattern here on the side with the off-white kind of colorway with the kind of, you know, gray colorways looks similar to it as well. The flip on the side here too, but I quite like it, man. I would really wear these. I wear the fuck out of these, and they're like what? They're $140 or something like that, right? Is that how much they are? $140? Like, I'd wear the hell out of these. Like, honestly, I would wear so well out of these. They look really good. $140. There's all the sizes are available here on the website for you to check out. But yeah, I'm a big fan of them, man. I'm gotta be honest. I'm a big fan of them. And then you've got the other colorway that comes in the kind of the quote unquote Travis Scott Jordan 6s colorway. And again, big fan of these too. I think they look equally as good, in my opinion. What do you guys think? I quite like them, man. Steve Madden Converse ones or something, right? Is that what you're gonna call them? But I like them. I'm not mad at them at all. They look really nice. I'd really wear these. $140. Steve Madden Converses with the kind of, you know, inside out pattern. A lot of non-linear stuff. I think it's got padding on the inside. That's good. Again, really ripped off the off-white Jordans, but in my opinion, why not, man? Why the fuck not? If you're gonna wear those Saint Laurent Jordan ones that people wear, you should probably wear these instead, right? The Saint Laurent Jordan one, I never get people that wear like designer trainers that are meant to look like sneakers, right? Just if you're gonna get designer brand trainers, get them because they look like, you know, nothing that a sneaker brand would ever make. But to get them just because they look like, you know, sneakers that you'd get, it doesn't make any sense. Like, just buy a pair of New Balances. But these actually look quite cool. And again, they're Converse I'll be all over these in a heartbeat. Wow, yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Check them out, man. Check them out. Available now. I think the Travis Scott colorway is on pre-order, and the other shoe is available now to buy right now. Right? Is that right? Am I saying that right? Or are they both on pre-order? Yeah, they're both on pre-order. Available now. Steve Madden. .com. I'll put links in the show notes. But yeah, I quite like them. I think they look really nice. There's nothing. I've got nothing bad to say about them at all, man. I would wear the fuck out of these. I really would. Both colorways. And what, they'd come up to about $300, right? I'm not including shipping. Absolute bargain if you haven't got the actual off-white Jordan ones, which I still have the off-white pair and the other ones, but I don't really wear them too much again, like I said, because the sole's so thin. But yeah, big fan of these, man. Look really nice. Really, really nice. So that's it for now. I'm gonna come back on the other side with another episode. More of a streetwear lint or tilt towards things, so if you're looking for that, then I recommend you check out the next episode coming up. But before we go, for those of you watching via YouTube, it's your first time watching, give me a thumbs up and maybe a subscribe if you like what I'm listening to and you want to come back. Maybe leave me a comment if you hear something interesting you want to ask about, or you just want to get involved in the conversation. Feel free to leave a comment. If you're listening via the podcast app, a 5-star review again will go a long way to make sure people discover the show. If you want to donate some dollars to my Patreon to ensure that I go out and get better equipment, or that I continue making these free to listen to podcasts, then feel free to donate at the Patreon link that's down there below. And as soon as some of the income or some of the funds start coming in, I'll start to think of a way of making some exclusive content for my Patreon backers. But for the most part, I'll be just to make sure I get some better equipment. I want to get a camera, I want to get a better microphone, and just kind of re-up kind of my stuff, because I think I'm 300 episodes deep. I've kind of been hanging on with this equipment for about 250 episodes. Probably time to kind of level up a little bit more and get some better equipment going forward. And as always, like I mentioned before, I'm playing at the Heathcote Star on Saturday, so feel free to come check me out then. And I'll see you guys again very, very soon. All information regarding myself, you can find it on show notes in the description of this episode, agostinhozinga.com for my main website. Check out all the stuff that I do and all that malarkey. Contact me on social media, contact me on all that malarkey, on email, all that malarkey. But yeah, until then, see you guys very, very soon. Hope you enjoy your weekend. Have a good Friday and all that malarkey. Don't be too crazy with that malarkey, and make sure you do the right thing with that malarkey. Okay, with that malarkey, take care with that malarkey. Bye.